When she went upstairs and turned on the light in her bedroom, Sugar was sitting at the little desk waiting for her. She stood in the doorway, her hand falling slowly away from the wall switch. He moved not at all. She stood there holding her hat. Finally she said,
I know this wasn't done with.
Smart girl.
I ain't got it.
Got what?
I need to sit down.
Sugar nodded toward the bed. She sat and put her hat on the bed beside her and then picked it up again and held it to her.
Too late.
I know.
What is it that you haven't got?
I think you know what I'm talking about.
How much do you have?
I don't have none of it. I had about $7,000 all told, and I can tell you it's long gone and there's bills aplenty left to pay yet. I buried my mother today. I ain't paid for that neither.
I wouldn't worry about it.
She looked at the bedside table.
It's not there.
She sat slumped forward, holding her hat in her arms.
You've got no cause to hurt me.
I know, but I've gave my word.
Your word?
Yes, we're at the mercy of the dead here. In this case, your husband.
That don't make no sense.
I'm afraid it does.
I don't have no money. You know I ain't got it.
I know.
You give your word to my husband to kill me?
Yes.
He's dead. My husband is dead.
Yes, but I'm not.
You don't owe nothing to dead people.
Sugar cocked his head slightly.
No.
How can you?
How can you not?
They're dead.
Yes, but my word is not dead. Nothing can change that.
You can change it.
I don't think so. Even a non-believer might find it useful to model himself after God. Very useful, in fact.
You're just a blasphemer.
Hard words. But what's done cannot be undone. I think you understand that. Your husband, you may be distressed to learn, had the opportunity to remove you from harm's way, and he chose not to do so. He was given that option, and his answer was no. Otherwise, I would not be here now.
You aimed to kill me.
I'm sorry.
She put the hat down on the bed, turned, and looked out the window. The new green of the trees and the light of the vapor lamp in the yard, bending and riding again in the evening wind.
I don't know what I've ever done. I truly don't.
Sugar nodded.
Probably you do. There's a reason for everything.
She shook her head.
How many times I've said them very words. I won't again.
You've suffered a loss of faith.
I've suffered a loss of everything I ever had. My husband wanted to kill me?
Yes. Is there anything you'd like to say?
To who?
I'm the only one here.
I don't have nothing to say to you.
You'll be all right. Try not to worry about it.
What?
I see your look. It doesn't make any difference what sort of person I am, you know. You shouldn't be more frightened to die because you think I'm a bad person.
I knowed you was crazy when I seen you sitting there. I know exactly what was in store for me, even if I couldn't have said it.
Sugar smiled.
It's a hard thing to understand. I see people struggle with it. The look they get. They always say the same thing.
What do they say?
They say, you don't have to do this.
You don't.
It's not any help, though, is it?
No.
So why do you say it?
I ain't never said it before.
Any of you.
There's just me. There ain't nobody else.
Yes, of course.
She looked at the gun. She turned away. She sat with her head down, her shoulders shaking.
Oh, Mama.
None of this was your fault.
She shook her head, sobbing.
You didn't do anything. It was bad luck.
She nodded. He watched her, his chin in his hand.
All right, this is the best I can do.
He straightened out his leg and reached into his pocket and drew out a few coins and took one and held it up. He turned it, for her to see the justice of it. He held it between his thumb and forefinger and weighed it and then flipped it, spinning in the air, and caught it and slapped it down on his wrist.
Call it.
She looked at him, at his outheld wrist.
What?
Call it.
I won't do it.
Yes, you will. Call it.
God would not want me to do that.
Of course he would. You should try to save yourself. Call it. This is your last chance.
Heads.
He lifted his hand away. The coin was tails.
I'm sorry.
She didn't answer.
Maybe it's for the best.
She looked away.
You make it like it was the coin, but you're the one.
It could have gone either way.
The coin didn't have no say. It was just you.
Perhaps, but look at it my way. I got here the same way the coin did.
She sat sobbing softly. She didn't answer.
For things at a common destination, there is a common path. Not always easy to see, but there.
Everything I ever thought has turned out different. There ain't the least part of my life I could have guessed. Not this, not none of it.
I know.
You wouldn't have let me off, no way.
I had no say in the matter. Every moment in your life is a turning, and everyone is a choosing. Somewhere you made a choice. All follow to this. The accounting is scrupulous. The shape is drawn. No line can be erased. I had no belief in your ability to move a coin to your bidding. How could you? A person's path through the world seldom changes, and even more seldom will it change abruptly. And the shape of your path was visible from the beginning.
She sat sobbing. She shook her head.
Yet even though I could have told you how all of this would end, I thought it not too much to ask that you have a final glimpse of hope in the world to lift your head before the shroud drops the darkness. Do you see?
Oh God, oh God.
I'm sorry.
She looked at him a final time.
You don't have to. You don't.
You're asking that I make myself vulnerable, and that I can never do. I have only one way to live. It doesn't allow for special cases. A coin toss, perhaps. In this case, to small purpose. Most people don't believe there can be such a person. You can see what a problem that must be for them. How to prevail over that which you refuse to acknowledge the existence of. Do you understand? When I came into your life was over. It was a beginning, a middle, and an end. This is the end. You can say that things could have turned out differently, that they could have been some other way. But what does that mean? They are not some other way, they are this way. You're asking what I say to the world. Do you see?
Sobbing.
Yes, I do. I truly do.
Good. That's good.
And he shot her.